What's up, guys? Big Papa Drock back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope that you are having a wonderful day. As always, it is a pleasure to see you guys. We've got another World's Strongest video today, aka where I take a +4 fully awakened champion and test them out. And I thought, you know what? Why not test out our old, I was going to say buddy, but really he's not your buddy because he's terrible. Our old, not friend, but just person that we know, Wurlim Frostking. So this is going to serve as both a World's Strongest video as well as a test of Wurlim's recent buffs. So if you didn't know, he was buffed a couple months back. I never had a chance to build him and test him out. And so that's what we're going to do today. And we'll review what the changes were for his buffs as well in a second. But I mean, look, this guy sucks. Like, let's just be completely honest. He's a void champion, and he's frankly one of the worst. And he's probably still going to be one of the worst even after the buff, just based off of reading the skills. And certainly you can see the reviews are not friendly to this guy whatsoever. So let's take a look at the kit. We'll take a look at what they did. I'll show you how I've built him. And again, we're going for max damage here with this build because it's going to be a World's Strongest. So we're just going to see what can he do damage-wise, even though he's not really a nuker kind of anymore. And that's part of the problem with this quote unquote buff. So take a look at the A1. Attacks when enemy has a 30% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn, can't be resisted, places a perfect buff on the perfect veil buff on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. And so that 30% chance books up to a 50% chance total of an unresistible freeze. I mean, look, okay, cool. He gets a freeze on his A1. Freeze really isn't the best debuff in this game because it reduces damage drastically. Cool that it's on the A1, but nothing special in my opinion, especially because it's only a 50% chance, even though it is unresistible, which means you don't need to build him with accuracy. Then we've got the A2. Attacks all enemies, 70% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff and a 50% decrease accuracy debuff for 2 turns. These debuffs cannot be resisted. Also places a 30% increased crit damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. I mean, sounds okay at best, right? Like, it's an AoE with decreased attack and decreased accuracy, which is just okay in terms of debuffs that are out there, especially for a void champ. And a 30% increased crit damage buff is pretty meh. Like, I'm just going to be completely honest, it's pretty freaking meh. And so 3-turn cooldown. So it does book up to 100% chance, but I mean, very underwhelming in terms of the stuff that he's doing here. Then we've got the A3. Places a 25% strengthen buff and a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns, has a 60% chance of placing a freeze debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. This debuff cannot be resisted. So they buffed all these abilities, and we'll go into what they changed, but like, this is just shit, guys. Like, 60% chance, not even 100% chance of freezing people. Like, yeah, you get the strength and you get the increased defense buff, cool, but there's really not much going on here. His kit is pretty frankly awful for a void champion. Especially when you look at his base stats and the fact that they've kind of tried to make him a control champ, but his control is piss poor. 60% chance of getting a freeze. Why is this not 100? Why is this ability just so god awful? Well, frankly, why are all the abilities so god awful? But we'll get to that in a second. So just looking at his base stats too, terrible defense, 1233 base for a defense based champion. So you're not going to be able to really use him as a nuker in his current state, and his HP is also mediocre as well compared to other legendaries that are out there, and also speed not the best either. I mean, it's hard to believe that this is the buff version of this champion. It's also hard to believe that this champion was even worse than this beforehand. But let's take a look at specifically what they changed. You might not be able to read this on the screen, so I'll try to read it quickly for you. But basically, they made his freeze on the A1 irresistible, and they gave the perfect veil buff for it. They made his A2 do a decrease attack instead of decreased crit damage, which is, certainly better than decreased crit damage, but it's still a crap skill. And then they gave him a chance to place freeze on the A3 that's irresistible. And they gave him an all defense aura. So it's a really terrible buff. Do you know what I mean? It just reading the kit, it is a really bad buff for a void champion. And I highly doubt that most people are going to get use out of this unless you don't have any other void champions at all, which maybe that's the case. But basically they said with their rebalance, they looked to make him a more effective control and support champion They failed. They just straight up failed. There's no other way to put it. He's not going to be the guy that you go to for any of this kind of stuff. Realistically, there are so many better control champions, including fusions and things like that, than a void champion like Wurlim. So they failed at making him a control champ just based off reading the kit. That's for sure. If you don't have 100% guaranteed freeze, you're not a control champ. You're just a useless piece in whatever, party you're building. Now, the other thing is he probably doesn't do any damage either. And so this is a great example of Plarium not understanding how to fix a champion that is broken. Like if you're going to make this champion a support champion or a control champion, make him a real support and control champion. Make him actually do stuff like decrease buff duration or give a guaranteed freeze or, stuff along that nature, right? Like give him more juice, especially since he's a void, right? He's a hard champion to get hypothetically. But certainly you don't want to get this dude given how awful his kit is, even after the buff, which is frankly just sad. You wait years for these champions to get buffed. They're still ass even after the buff. But anyway, let's take a look at what we've got on him. Again, we're testing him for damage today. I kind of wish that they had just made him a hybrid damage support champion, right? Like make him damage and support, freeze control. You could absolutely do something like that. Or frankly, just make him all out damage. Like just fix his kits where he actually excels at something. But since we are building him for damage, he is +4, as you can see over here. We do have a cat's gaze on him just to make sure he gets the extra ignore defense. He is defense based, so this is no problem, no issues with the higher max HP. We got a couple gemstones in here, nothing crazy, just increasing crit damage for lower HP on enemies. And this is just like something I took off my Siegfried, so nothing incredible in terms of the gemstones. Soul Reap was the blessing I've got on him here. Like, frankly, not necessary. You could go a lot of different ways here. You could go Lightning Cage if you have him in Stone Skin. You could certainly go something. I mean, I would say Nature's Wrath because he does put out a couple of debuffs, but realistically, you're not landing freeze on bosses, so that's not going to help you there. And he's not a damage dealer. At least that's what they've indicated. So probably pointless in that scenario. Maybe you could go Brimstone, Cruelty. I don't know. I mean, this champions just makes me sick to my stomach, frankly. So taking a look at the masteries, we have him set up for damage again. So we're going Helm Smasher. We did give him some extra defense. I did do the counterattack action here because he does have that irresistible freeze in the A1, even though it's only 50%. Worth trying for arena stuff. And then I just went with Whirlwind of Death and Cycle of Violence. I highly doubt he's going to do enough damage to actually trigger this stuff. But hey, you know what? Let's find out. Little World's Strongest action. So let's take a look at the build. He's in Savage and Zeal. So Savage Zeal combo here. Again, defense champion. And you can see we got crit rate, got crit damage. We also have him in Slayer as well to get some extra crit damage on that. So Savage, Zeal, we got lots of crit damage and speed. Well, no, not a lot of speed. I should say lots of defense. I've even glyphed some of these pieces, as you can see. Little defense. I haven't built him fast. Like this is not what I would call an optimal arena build for this champion because he is built pretty slow. But I just want to see like what could he actually hit for if maxed out, right? If we get him in Zeal, we get him in Savage, we get him with lots of fun stats on him. Like what is it possible to actually do with this champion? So what does it all add up to? Only 7,400 defense. And again, it's because his base defense is so freaking low that it's very hard to get this champion's defense up. Now, I just want to reiterate, Plarium is saying this champion's not meant to be a damage dealer. Again, I think that's a mistake because his kit is so ass as a support. It's so bad as a control champion. Like they did not succeed just reading the kit and making him a viable option as a support / control champion whatsoever. Just want to reiterate, I really think they should revisit this guy in a buff again. Hopefully not 2 years from now, but they have absolutely failed in their goal of trying to make him a viable support and control champion, at least for a void level champ. But since we are testing him defense, for damage, we are building him for that. So we do have 7,400 defense here. We've got 429% crit damage. His speed is only 215. He's built slow again. We're going to try to max the damage and see, could you even use this guy as a damage dealer? Could you get anything out of him value-wise? Because control-wise, you're almost guaranteed to have better options than Wurlim Frostking. And again, the reviews reflect that. This is one of the worst champions in the game, especially for a Void, bar none, even with the buff, in my opinion. So let's take him in to the dungeon, to the dragon, and let's see exactly what we're working with here. It's just so frustrating that they can't get this stuff right. You know what I mean? I really don't understand why it's so hard when they do a grand total of one buff every 7 months, or so it feels like. It's not actually that bad, but really frustrating that you wait so long for these champions that are god awful to get buffed, and inevitably they still suck. And again, maybe he'll surprise me. Maybe I'm being overly harsh before we test him. Maybe the reviews are wrong, right? That happens sometimes. So let's take him into Dragon 23, and let's just see what kind of damage can we get out of our boy Wurlim. He is defense-based. We're going to bring Sifi in there for some increased defense. We got, of course, Lydia for her decreased defense and weaken. We're setting him up for max damage here. He's got 1 AoE. So let's take a look. What can our boy do? Right? What is he capable of doing here? All right, that was actually better than I thought. I expected it to be so god awful that he wouldn't be able to do anything. I will say that was actually better than I thought. Wurlim, it's not great, but it's certainly not as bad as I thought it would be. And that kind of proves my point. Like, why are you not making this guy a damage dealer? You know what I mean? Make him a damage dealer. Or if you're going to make him support, like, give him a real reason to be support. You know, if you're going to make him control, at least give him 100% freeze. Again, that's a terrible debuff for arena purposes, right? You know what I mean? And it's worthless for PvE unless you're doing wave clearing. I mean, the A1's fine. It's nothing incredible. Obviously, we don't have decreased defense out there. Let's go again. The fact that he hit for 400k was better than I thought, especially given his stats. I mean, 400% crit damage, 420% crit damage, 430, whatever it was, is certainly not bad. But still, like, just, it's so frustrating when these champions don't get buffs that make sense, or don't get buffs that actually make them viable, right? Because looking at that damage, he's not meant to be a damage dealer. His stats are obviously low, but you could certainly improve this. Like, keep him irresistible here on this. Now you have real value out of that, but make it so it really smacks, freaking hard. Make it so that he has some kind of cool thing going on here where he can really pump out some damage and be viable in that regard. Because defense champions are great as nukers, right? All right, let's go again. AoE again, one more time. Okay, there we go. She didn't get the decreased defense, so that's part of why. Again, not incredible numbers by any stretch of the imagination, especially for a +4 fully awakened version of him. And I think that's the thing to keep in mind, right? Like, he's +4, he's fully awakened, he's maxed out, right? Really, really high stats for this kind of build. Realistically, most people are not going to be able to do those kind of stats on a champion like this, right? Okay. I mean, seems fine. Better than I thought. For sure, better than I thought. I definitely thought I was going to hit for like 250. I was fully prepared. That's probably the power of the cat's gaze there, giving him that extra ignore defense. And also zeal. I'm sure the zeal is really coming in there big. So let's see what he does in arena, because I have a feeling that it won't be as impressive. Yeah, this works. We can do this. We have enough buffs here. Nah, we should be fine. I mean, he might get enfeebled here, but let's try. Let's give him a go. Let's give him a go here. I don't know. I guess, I'll do a whole another video on this, because I want to talk more about champion buffs, but it's super frustrating when you get these champions, you wait for forever for them to become useful, and then they do a buff and it's not enough, right? Like, and it happens all too often. Do I need to speed up? I don't really need to speed up here. I can actually just chill. So let's just chill for the moment. Maybe we get some strips. Okay, we did, but it wasn't enough. Oh, is he going to die? That would not be fun. Well, I guess we can go ahead and see what he's capable of, right? This is this gives me the freeze, but it's not even 100%. It's just so dumb. Let's see if he can kill. He's got decreased defense, though, so he's not going to be able to kill anything. This is really not ideal. Let's just see if we can freeze. I mean, he's probably going to die to Fatalis, frankly, but let's see if we can get the freeze off here. All right, the block damage came up. That's good. Protected us from the queen. This champion is so shit. Let's kill their Odin. All right, put some more buffs up there. The queen comes back in. Slow him down a little bit. All right, berserk the queen. I need to. Who do I want to lock out here? Let's try to. Yeah, let's get the block active skill on the queen just in case. God. I mean, granted, he is built extremely slow. He's not built for what you would call modern day arena, but here's his chance to shine. Now he has increased defense and decreased defense, so he's got basically net no increase, no decrease. Let's see what he can do. All right, come on. They've got decreased defense. Fatalis doesn't have a shield, so he should get crit. Let's see what he's capable of. Come on. Let's go, Wurlim. Oh, baby, the big damage. Here we go. All right, we did it. Wurlim, he did it. We worked around our boy Wurlim to make it happen. Ah, man. You just would. I mean, you'd obviously never see this guy in arena, and that's the thing. Like, freeze is mostly usable. I guess you could hypothetically try to use him in like a Fire Knight team, but it's not 100%. So yeah, you probably wouldn't use him anyway. It's not 100% freeze on the A1 regardless. But it's like freeze is an arena ability most of the time. And these champions aren't built for arena. It's so stupid, frankly, for lack of a better word. It's just stupid. Like, okay, we got Berserk on here, so now we should be able to do a lot more damage. I'm just going to go for the nuke. Let's just go for the nuke. No increase, but we do have the Berserk, so we get the double damage. What can he do versus a Taurus and Marichka with this nuke? Show me your power, my brother. Oh, look out! He's unstoppable! The Berserk coming in clutch. The clutch Berserk. That was big. All right, wait, hold on. Maybe we're making this guy work. Hold on a second. Can he get the freeze? No, he does not. I think one of them had a wand. I couldn't see that, but he doesn't have the 100% freeze, and so therefore he does not get the freeze. I'm choking over here. I'm choking. Wurlim, no, not my Wurlim. Oh my God, bro. Okay, hold on. Can I just kill the Taurus? Okay, we did kill the Taurus. Odin coming in clutch here. Incredible clutchness from our boy Odin. Ultra clutch. Do we want to get back around? Nah, we'll just do this for now. All right, let's try the A1. Boom. Hey, with that decreased defense action, we're doing some work. My boy Wurlim wait a second. Is he the hidden gem? Was I wrong about Wurlim? My boy Wurlim. Oh, this could be a fun team. Let's try this. This should be fun. Let's see. Speeding up with Shuzam, probably not a good option here, given there's a Nell and he's not in Stone Skin. What do I want to do? I guess I could just speed up the Warlord and just lock out like that. That's what we'll try to do here. Although Gizmak probably going to be faster and kill us all. This is going to go terribly. This is definitely not a team that you want to try to run this into, but whatever. For the lols, guys. All right, I will say this. He's doing better than I thought he would. He is doing better than I thought he would for sure, which is great. Actually, I don't even think I need to use it, right? How fast is their Gizmak? This is where I really need a turn meter here. Hey, Plarium, we're 6 years into the game. Where's the freaking turn order? Where's the turn order? I can't tell if the Gizmak's going to go first. I think my Odin will go first, but it's really hard to tell. Wouldn't it be sick if we had a turn meter or a turn order like every other game in the genre? Just a thought. All right, come on. Come on. Let's go. We're doing it, guys. All right, nuke him. Drop the hammer. Drop the whip. Oh, Wurlim. 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 Oh, my God. Hold on. What do I do here? And actually, again, he's doing more damage than I thought he would. I can't even lie. He's definitely doing more damage than I thought. This is why you should just make him a damage dealer. Damn it. Just make him a damage dealer. Lean into that. Redo his kit correctly. Do I want to res right now? Do I want to bring them all back? I guess I could, since I've got the block damage. So may as well. We've got the block damage. Should I try to freeze? I mean, he's going to get tons of poisons and basically die. You know what I mean? If I do this, he'll die right away. But I guess I got to try to freeze. Let's try it. Freeze him up. Also, again, why is this not 100%? Please, somebody explain why this isn't 100%. All right, we sheeped her. There you go. That's how we deal with Nell. That's the way, my friends. That's the way to deal with Nell right there. Just sheep him. All right, come on, come on. Kill the gal up there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Freeze him up. Freeze him up. Yeah, it's working. I can't believe this is actually somehow working. This is great. Where the RNG is just in our favor right now so hard. I love it. Yes, Wurlim, do it. Do it, Wurlim. Finish him. Boom. God. Sometimes I have more fun testing these champions that I know aren't like that you have to work around and try to make it happen just because of how like non-meta they are. Hey, look, we did it, guys. Wurlim was the champion. Wurlim came through. This is what drives me crazy. There's clearly possibility with this champ, right? Even though he's not built as a damage dealer, his damage is actually not as bad as I thought it would be. For sure. Again, +4, fully awakened. Like, you could make this champion really good. You could make him great, even, and usable and viable if you just change a couple things. And again, we're talking about high-end champs here, right? Like, we're not talking about Wurlim versus an epic or versus a terrible legendary, right? He's a void Lego. He's supposed to be good. He's supposed to be great. Forget just good. He's supposed to be great. In my opinion, void Legos, they're supposed to be fantastic. At least that's how I look at it. You let me know if you disagree. I mean, I certainly think every void Lego should be at the minimum great because they are harder to get by far than the majority of other champions in this game. Same kind of thing with mythicals, right? You know what I mean? You got to make them great. They're hard to get. Make them great again. Make them great for the first time. Make those void Legos. Make them great. So, all right, let's try another Taurus Richka team. I mean, look, he's definitely doing better than I thought he would. I honestly thought he was going to have 0 damage. And even Plarium, said, like, we're not building him as a damage dealer now. We're building him as, as a support control. But it's like, he wants to be a damage dealer. He screams to be a damage dealer. I feel it. I feel it in his bones, Kakarot. He's probably gonna get killed here by the Marius. Let's see if we just slow them all down. Oh, this is a bad idea. That was a mistake. Whoopsie. That was a mistake. I wasn't paying attention. He froze himself because of Wanda submission. I love it. We're cooking now, boys. Now we're cooking with gas. That was what I needed. I needed that block damage for me to have a chance here. I can't do anything. Can I do that? Yeah, we got that. Get a little heal up. Warlord's still kind of like legitimately useful. Just with that heal is actually legit awesome. Okay, can we kill the Merchka? We did. No aspect of Saroth. You love to see it. Oh my God, Shuzen, you dirty, dirty girl. Give him these block active skills everywhere. Unfortunately, we're still enfeebled here. The pain is real. We just got re-enfeebled, I should say. We're re-feebled. Let's try block active skills over here. Hey, there we go. We're going to get wanded? No wand. I love it. They've just made Arena into such an RNG fest that you can't help but just laugh at this point. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Come on, Wurlim. Show them your power, brother. Kill them all. Decrease defense. This should be a wipe. I feel it. Oh, nope. Almost got the Taurus, though. Almost got the Taurus. If he had Berserk on him, he would have died. Hey, let's go. Come on, Wurlim. Forget it. We'll finish him off with Odin. The fact that I'm making this work is great. Now, granted, it's not end of week, so it could be a lot harder. Ooh, yeah, look at this. This looks juicy. Satheus coming in juicy. You love to see it. You love to see it, Satheus. All right, +4 everywhere. Let the domination commence. Wurlim, save me. Show me your power, Wurlim. Show me your power. I have too much fun. We got Lightning Cage, so they're protecting their stone skins. Resisting, we got a Resistance Galathir, so we're not going to be able to lock them out. Didn't lock out the Marichka either. Oh no, not like that. Oh, but he got sheeped. The Polymorph coming in clutch. The clutch morph. What do I do here? I don't want him to die. I guess I am going to go ahead and give my Warlord a turn first so we can just try to keep him alive. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's good. We got extra turns. All right. Here we go. He's got the damage. I'm just going to go for it because he's got the block damage up. So, and he's also got the ability to make sure he doesn't get stunned from the tar. So let's just see what he can do. This is going to free our Polymorph though. So this is probably a bad call, but screw it. Oh yeah, there's the damage, baby. Now we're cooking. That increased defense is no joke. Couldn't get it on the Galathir, but we'll go ahead and we will she'll res if I do that. So let's just try to kill the Siphi. We got the Siphi. Beautiful. I think we're probably cooked here. Here comes the stun or the strip. Stun or the strip. Probably, I would imagine it's the strip. Maybe it's the stun. Hope it's the stun. Yes, because we debuff blocked it and we Wanda submission him. You love to see it. You love to see the wand, baby. Let's get some Berserk on there. We can avoid that. Perfect. He got stunned. Beautiful. Even better. We don't want to freeze here because we don't want to. Oh, what the hell was that, Wurlim? Dude, this guy screams to be a damage dealer. He screams to be a damage dealer, guys. Look at this. He wants to damage deal, man. Make this guy a damage dealer. Make Wurlim great for the first time. You know? He's begging for it. He's begging to be a damage dealer. We're actually going to beat this team with Wurlim. This is hysterical, actually. Bro, the A1 is not screwing around, actually. I might have gotten the A1 very wrong. Brother, I can't believe we actually just beat this team. Now, granted, we got Polymorph on the Galathir. Had we not gotten Polymorph on the Galathir, we would have been screwed. Had we gotten Polymorph, we would have been screwed, right? So we did have Wanda submission proc multiple times there. It just goes to show if the RNG is in your favor, anything can work. And it's not like this is a weak team other than the Wurlim not being quote unquote a meta damage dealer, but this just illustrates my point, man. Make this guy a damage dealer. Make him a hybrid damage dealer control. Leave him irresistible. Like, I wouldn't mind the 60%. It's not great. Like, I'd rather have it be 80 or at least a better chance, right? So it's less RNG based. But give this guy damage. Make this guy a damage dealer. Give him some real damage stuff and let the dude cook. Let the dude cook. Like, he's potentially better than his kit would lead you to believe. His kit is terrible. Even after the buff, it is. It is terrible. But it's like, you know, just enable him. Give him some more spice. Try one Crixia team. This is a horrible idea because we're going to get locked out here most likely. And they'll get refreshed. But why not? Why not? Still, cannot believe we beat that team. Legitimately shocked. All right, here we go. All right, nice. We got the turn meter. Oh, no, the Galathir. Not the Galathir. You son of a gun. Why, Galathir? Oh, no, this is not good. We'll go ahead. We'll do the same thing we did last time. We'll get our Warlord cooking again. And we'll try to... I guess we'll just try to kill... Well, might be able to kill the Galathir if we can do this and then the Wurlim comes in. You just blast everybody. Did we trigger the passive? I think we did. I hope so. Nope, we didn't. Son of a bitch. The Soul Reap trying to help us out, though. We're cooked here. Yeah, we're about to be cooked. It's going to get ugly. Oh, no. She's cleansing. Oh, God. Oh, no. Not like this. Please. Please, Daddy Galathir, don't do this. Please, God, Siegfried, don't. Don't you do it, Siegfried. But, like, do it now, actually, because, yes, block damage is still up. Oh, no. Please, Polymorph, save me. Oh, not this time. Nope. Not this time, my friend. You got all your RNG in the last battle. Your RNG is cooked now. All right. Oh, damn. That aspect of Sarath coming in clutch there. Oh, he's going to kill my Odin. Oh, no. Now we're really cooked. Oh, well. Oh, well. I knew the Crixia would be a problem. Oh, God. It's just getting worse. Oh, the massacre. Wurlim, please save me. Please, Wurlim, save me. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, well. Oh, well. I mean, look. In the right gear, I think this kind of illustrates the point. In the right gear, with the right champions around teams, and with the right RNG, very important in today's Raid Shadow Legends. Right RNG, right gear, right surrounding champions. You can make almost any champion in this game work. I say almost any because there are some champions that are really just so bad that it's very, very, very tough. Like you can basically, they're just like an anchor that drag you down and everybody else just carries if the champions around them are good enough. Like, you know, you could win battles with 3-team champion teams if you have the right champs. I'll say this. Wurlim is more usable than I thought he would. His kit is still bad. I will die on that hill. His kit is still bad, and this buff is still bad because he doesn't have a clear purpose. And that's the biggest thing I think you can ask from any champion in Raid, right? Is that you want a clear purpose and a way for a champion to really be useful, to be sought after. They don't have to be the meta. They don't have to be the best champion that's ever existed, but they should be really good in whatever their specific area is. That's my belief. Like I want champions to be really good, even if it's just at one thing. My problem with Wurlim is he's just okay at a lot of different stuff. In today's day and age, you're going to have champions that give you strengthen or increased defense that do other things that are more valuable. So you're not looking to use this guy in a boss fight necessarily. Like, yeah, you can have decreased attack, which is good. Decreased accuracy, I guess, is fine. Like, but you have better options, better champions that you might have that do more. And because he's not a credible damage dealer, you don't get the value out of this stuff that you would otherwise. If they made him more damage oriented, like upped his multiples, made him a legitimate hard hitter, and left these things alone, or increased his base stats so that you could get better overall defense on him, now you're in a different place, right? Now you're talking about someone who's more viable. I think this is an example of a buff that didn't go far enough. You know what I mean? It did not go far enough. If your goal, Plarium, is to make him a support / crowd control champion, you need to drastically improve his kit because you're never going to pick this guy unless you have no other voids or you're just starting the game and you don't have better options. And there are many, 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 many better options than Wurlim. And again, this is a fully maxed out, right? Like +4, fully awakened. You're certainly not going to have this, or at least I hope you don't. If you do, let me know in the comments down below, and I'm so sorry for you. So I'd much rather you have a +4 Seafy or +4 anything else. Not anything else, but, you know, void-wise, there are many, many, many better options. So it's just, it's one of those things that really frustrates me, right? Like, go back and do the buff right. Do the buff right. Make this guy a hybrid damage dealer control. Give him real use. Or if you're going to make him a support, make him an actually good support. Give him some kind of buff decrease with a 60% freeze. Now we're talking. Now I'm more inclined to use him. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to make him someone that's based mainly for arena content or wave content, make it so you can count on him in your team. 60% chance is not counting on this dude. Even with, if you did your masteries to give him the 65% chance, that's still really bad. That's still really, really, really bad, especially for a void champ. And again, it's at odds with the rest of his kit that you would look at being PvE based, but you can't use freeze in boss battles, except for Fire Knight. I mean, this stuff really isn't hard. And I think that's why I get so frustrated with it, because nobody wants to have a bunch of champions like this that they've pulled sitting in their vault that they would love to be able to use. I would love to see Wurlim be someone you could really use consistently and get value out of. And again, he did better than I thought, because I really do think he should be a damage dealer. I think that's the direction they should have gone. Make him a good damage dealer, give him some control stuff. He's void, right? Now he is much, much, much more exciting to use. But the A1 certainly hit harder than I thought. Even the A2 hit harder than I thought, right? And it is on a 3-turn cooldown. So there's possibility there. It's just you didn't take his kit far enough. You didn't take his multipliers far enough. And in my opinion, you went in the wrong direction, where if you're going to make him support, you're going to make him control, make him a legit support control. Don't go half of the way. You know what I mean? There's a term for this. And I don't want to be offensive, but it's like you half-assed it here. And the problem is now he's probably not going to get a buff for another year or 2 years. If that, maybe 3 years. And that's the other part of the problem. But we'll cover that in a separate video where we talk about Plarium's buff stuff, which frankly has gotten really on my nerves, especially with some of the recent buffs coming out anyway. So let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Do you like his kit? Am I being too harsh? Did he surprise you with some of the damage that he dealt? He certainly did better than I thought. Still not incredible by any stretch of the imagination or even great. But I would love to hear what you think in the comments down below. And as always, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for watching. And I hope you don't pull a Wurlim anytime soon, barring some more changes to this dude. I'll catch y'all later. Big Papa Drock out.